Thanks for sticking with us. We're now joined by Cardinal freshmen CJ Goldthree and Landon Gamble. Now, both of you guys have been stellar as first-year players for the Cardinals. CJ, when you were putting in buckets at Belleville East last season, did you imagine you'd come to Naperville and have this type of impact so early?
Not 100%. Like, I knew I was going to come here and just, like, try to contribute from defensive end. But, like, my offense just seemed to come to me, so, yeah.
And what's that transition been like? I mean, from practices, kind of preseason, to kind of maybe getting your feet wet to full-blown league play. You guys are in a race, really, for the conference title still.
It was challenging. Coach put us through hard practices, preparing us, getting us mentally ready, physically ready, and we just went out there and just produced.
Definitely, and we've seen you go nuts from behind the arc at times. What's going through your head when you're coming off a screen and getting ready to let it fly?
Not too much, really. Just concentrate on the rim, just focus on making sure I make the shot, and pretty much it.
And Landon, you're another guy that's really made an impact here early. What's the total transition been like, all the way from, you know, moving into the dorms, starting classes, all the way to now till you guys are in the thick of it?
You know, it's been a big transition. You know, it's been like a lot of stuff that I had to get used to, you know, being able to go from class to practice. It's a lot different from high school, but I've gotten used to it, and I'm ready. I'm used to it now.
Is that the point where you're kind of in a routine, where you know what you're doing every day, you know what you're doing on game day, where it gets a lot easier?
Yeah, you know, it's like a set schedule now. I know what time I'm going to wear, what time I got to be at practice, shoot around games, so it's set now.
And, you know, Coach talked about how physical this league is. As a big man coming in here as a freshman, you're seeing major minutes, you're playing. I know last night a couple of the big guys North Park threw at you guys were very big guys coming in that really could produce. What's it like in this league night in, night out, where you're facing some really tough competition as a forward?
You know, it's a good challenge for me. You know, high school I went against big people, but not as big as they are in CCIW. So, you know, it's a great challenge for me, and that I'm really glad that I'm going to be able to take on.
Or is it something you see yourself becoming a better player because you're facing a lot of these bigger forwards?
Yes, you know, I think since me being a freshman, I get to see how it is now, and throughout my years, I think I'll be able to improve a lot and be able to hang with the big guys.
Coach, from preseason practice all the way up to now, both these guys, how much have you really seen them grow as ball players?
Huge. I mean, both, and it's not just physically. I mean, it's mentally too. You know, I think Landon is playing several minutes to where maybe early in the season, and he would say that, you know, he just wasn't in shape. And so now he is in shape, and his minutes have increased. And, you know, CJ is the same way. I mean, he's improved. You know, both of them have the physical skills. It's just really their mental approach to the game that probably has taken the most work for both of them. And both of them have done an excellent job for us.
And I know when we had you guys on earlier in the year, we were talking about the contributions from some of these guys, and maybe the fact that they are so young and really not thinking about it when they're out there is maybe a huge part to why they're putting in some big numbers.
Well, you know, I don't know if I hope they're thinking about some of this stuff that's going on out there. But you know, sometimes when you're an unknown in this league, I mean, good things can happen for you. And I think, you know, I don't think they're unknown anymore. But I think first time through, they weren't quite sure what to expect from either one of these young guys. And so, but like I said, I think second time through, they're well aware of them, and you know, they just both of them have just continued to get better, and you know, that's all you can ask from a coaching standpoint.
Landon, have you got to the point where you're almost where you're pretty comfortable out there, and it's almost like a lot of times you're just reacting to what's happening in front of you?
Yeah, you know, like at the beginning of the season, I was pretty sketchy about where I'm going to be on the court and everything. But now that we got through with the first round, you know, I'm pretty comfortable with everything, and I'm just able to go out there and just be free of everything, just play basketball.
Definitely, and I know another freshman making a big impact on this team that really plays a forward position like you is Jack Burchett. How big is it to have somebody like that to kind of battle with and practice every day in and out to prepare you for game day?
Oh, it's real big. It's real big. You know, Jack Burchett, he's like another big man too, so we go at each other every day, making each other better in practice. So that's something that we need on the team, and that helps us throughout any games.
And I know you guys' teams last year kind of took on each other in a holiday tournament earlier in the high school season. You had a pretty big night. You're happy you guys are on the same squad now, though?
Yeah, I'm real happy. You know, Jack in high school, he was a really good player, and, you know, he just carried that over to college here, and it's a big help for the North Central.
Definitely. Well, one of the keys to the Cardinals' success this season has been about what happens after the shot goes up. We learn more in this week's Cardinal Corner. It's a small part of the game, but an important one: rebounding.
I mean, a lot of it's just timing, trying to figure out where the ball's going to come off, and really just going after it every time. I mean, you're not going to get it every time, but if you go after it every time, chances are you'll get it plenty of times.
Evans has gotten it plenty of times. The senior guard is second in the CCIW in rebounds per game with 7.4 a clip. That's something you usually don't see from a player listed at 6'3". Evans, though, is quick to claim he's got the best vantage point when it comes to pulling down the boards.
A lot of times our big guys like Jack and Landon are on there banging, getting post position, so I can kind of see from the perimeter where it's coming off and go track down the rebound, so that's helped a lot this year.
Jack Burchett and Landon Gamble, the freshman big men who ranked second and third respectively in rebounding for the Cardinals, won't let Evans off that easy.
Brian, he's one of a kind. You know, he's going to get after it no matter what the situation is. He's going to give it his all. He works like our hardest work out on the court. He goes for everything. He gives it 110% every day.
Anyone on the team will tell you Brian works harder than anybody night in and night out on the floor. On our team or on any other team, he's the hardest working player you'll see in this league. And he just goes out and busts it for all 40 minutes every night.
One thing the Cardinal rebounding trio can agree on is that they enjoy going after the elusive round ball after it comes off the rim, and the free-for-all that comes with it.
Physicality is a part of the game that I like. You know, I love to be physical, so it always helps when you can have that 4 or 5 seconds just to do whatever you want.
It's kind of nice because most of the game it's called pretty close, but it seems when the ball's in the air, it's really just go out there and get it. There's usually not a lot of foul calls, so it's kind of nice to just go out there and give everything you have.
That has worked for the Cardinals this season. The team's 35-plus rebounds per game ranks second in the conference, up from 6th last season. The squad also sits at number 2 in the conference standings. Those two seem to go hand in hand.
One of our big losses was against Augustana, and they out-rebounded us pretty handily in that one, so it really is a key for us to win.
CJ, we've seen you grab some boards from your guard spot this year. When you see a guy like Brian Evans who does so well on the glass, both offensively and defensively, what are some of the things that you can take from him as a guy that, you know, on the perimeter looks to grab some rebounds?
I can take a lot from him. Brian is a hustle player. He's always on the glass and always in the right position. So I look towards him for like rebounding, defense, and just plain hustle.
And, you know, talking with you earlier in the season, you talked about how with Brian being a senior, being one of those guys that's been kind of a mentor to you, it goes a little bit beyond basketball, doesn't it? It
does. Brian always one of them guys that talks to you after practice, try to get you to come over, hang out, and just welcome me into the program and the part of the team.
How much of a difference has that made?
Oh, it made a big difference. For me being so far away from home, it's good to have family around, teammates that's willing to just go out their way and help you participate in activities and stuff.
And as a fellow three-point shooter, how would you evaluate Kevin Gillespie's kind of three-point barrage last night? I imagine you were rooting for him?
Yes. It was good to see Kevin just making all them shots. I was just happy because it just kept putting us in the lead. He just kept showing leadership out there. Just making shots and everything. It was great seeing that.
Coach, how much does it help that, you know, we're talking about all types of guys here today. It's not just one guy. It seems once the opposition seems to double the hot guy, they start to pass the ball out, somebody else gets hot.
Well, that's what you like as a coach, obviously, is you want that to happen. And so far, it's worked out in our favor, you know. And like I said, it's not just one individual on our team or two individuals. And, you know, we have some guys that are in practice that probably could be playing that aren't playing right now, but they're giving us great effort in practice. That's making us better. And, you know, it's tough from a coaching standpoint because you can only play a certain amount of kids and keep that continuity. And right now, I think we have our group down. But, you know, even our guys that are on the bench are giving us great effort in practice. And that's something that, you know, is a sign of a good team. And that's what, you know, you can't ask for anything more than that from a coach. And I hope that continues.
Landon, what do you guys need to do to keep playing like this? You guys on the inside that have been playing so well for most of the year.
We just got to continue working hard in practice, giving it our all mentally, physically. And we do that, we're going to keep getting better and we're going to win games.
And I know another thing you guys have been talking about all year long is, you know, being committed on the defensive end. I imagine that's got to be a priority as well.
Yeah, you know, defense is part of the game, it's a big part of the game. You know, defense makes your offense. So without defense, you can't win games.
CJ, what's one thing you feel like you need to improve on as the year really coming to a close here, but that you need to improve on going into the postseason?
Just strength and just make sure I keep mental focus and everything on the game and execution and just keep being a team player.
And Landon, Coach and I kind of talked about it a little bit in the first segment about how, keeping you guys focused, not looking ahead to, some of the tougher matchups as we move on in the conference schedule. How do you guys keep focused on a Carthage on Saturday rather than, looking to the 3 games in 5 days next week?
Well, it's kind of hard sometimes, but, for the most part, you got to take it one game at a time, because if you lose the one game, the games down the line don't really matter if you can't win the one that you have next. So you got to stay focused on the one that's coming up next.
So all about maybe, it's tough to keep the blinders on, but is it one of those things where you realize that it's really a necessity?
Yes, it is. It's a big necessity in order to keep going and improving your record in the season.
For sure. Well, guys, we appreciate you coming by. Good luck the rest of the way. I know you got a tough regular season schedule to finish up, but we hope we're maybe talking to the conference champs here in a couple weeks.
Oh, we hope so.
Hope so.
Thanks for having us.
Definitely. Well, there's more Cardinal Report just around the corner. We hope you stick around to take it in.